Okay, guys, I don't think anyone's really live right now, but we'll be doing this pretty quickly. So I'll just share the stream links, and if people come to watch it, great. Otherwise, they'll have to watch it later. So that is how this will be. Yeah. Okay. And Telegram, Insta. Yeah, guys, I'm not gonna put that much effort. Sorry, kids. That is just how dad is gonna behave today. Aloha snack bar. Okay, Twitter and Telegram and YouTube audience obviously will get it anyways. Yeah, guys. Okay, so we have a couple of people. We're not waiting for anyone. So I'll get straight into it, guys. What this live stream is about. It's pretty important and it'll be pretty exciting for you. Those of you who actually will make sense of what I'm saying today might even personally benefit. Otherwise, at the very least, if you try and like really honestly look at it, if you've been wasting time on this channel or on Shamsha Sharma or like any other random right wing channel which is just spewing the same fucking bullshit, same fucking okay, at least I don't do that like political propaganda, otherwise we wouldn't be so fucking bankrupt. But anyways, sorry for my unparliamentary language. But yeah, guys, either you'll get some guidance, you'll figure out a few things which might help you, or on the other hand, you'll know that you've been wasting time in this corner of the internet. I'm not talking just my channel, but like right-wing Indian channels which are mostly useless. I'm not saying mine is like excellent or something, but like in general they're quite useless. Actually, right-wing channels in general are quite useless. So even left-wing ones, politics are fucking joke. Yeah, guys, so we without any further ado, what we're going to do is, so I wrote this kind of like cue card script with a very bad handwriting, so hopefully if I can comprehend. Oh fuck, what the fuck is this? Yeah, guys, this gonna just, oh lord, fucking hell, how did I pass college? Okay, yeah, guys, okay, let's so we'll just start off with a pretty common statement. If you studied political science in school or college or just like read too much Wikipedia, well, I don't know, hi, there's a line which you might have come across. It's pretty famous. All these old geezers with tenure, they like to use it. What good is democracy to a hungry man? So this is some rhetorical bullshit. Then they come up with some random argument like, oh no, but at least you protect your dignity even if you starve. So it's some fucking nonsense like that. But this is actually a pretty good argument, right? You can actually use it in many different places. Like, what good is, let's say, your rank, your position, your status in society, if your kids don't have bread to eat, right? So you can actually use it in a lot of different places. So how I'm going to use it is that now let's we extrapolate this, and the most valiant dharmic warrior you can think of, who's ideologically like perfect, right? And he's giving his UPSC third attempt. Okay, he has two younger sisters to marry off, and he has aging parents. What on earth will he do with all that valiance and courage and dharmic knowledge if he has all those responsibilities and he doesn't have the money to just like kind of quickly get done with those, right? He can't do anything. Similarly, like other examples, you can think of typical middle class, middle aged parents. They have like an EMI for the car, EMI for the house, like a dozen different EMIs, keeping up with the Joneses or the Janardans or the Jans, whoever your neighbors are. And you're a 16-year-old girl or guy preparing for NEET or JEE or some exam, right? Straight from 9, 10th onwards, and you don't have, if you don't have any quota, you're basically, your chances are as good as, I don't know, becoming Elon Musk's, next astronaut, right, to Mars, or like wherever he's sending people these days. So yeah, and even if you get through, you'd spend like 5, 7, 8, 10 years, especially if you're doing medical, getting indebted. And by the time you start making that money back, and eventually when you do get married, like if you're a woman, I think like 80% of your eggs are already gone. And on top of that, I mean, you probably don't get that much time still, and you still probably have some debt left. So are you really going to be that, Arya lioness, Devi, who's gonna, I'm not, talking about like, really hardworking women who are trying to, like, actually who really believe and like stuff like that. But society is like that, right? uh you know we've kind of even brainwashed women into thinking that, careers will solve everything. And then at the same time, these, some of these, pseudo feminist, pseudo dharmic kind of combo women are now, spreading this message to all Hindu women that, okay, you get married at 35, 40, doesn't matter, and you can have like one IVF kid and you're a great Devi, right? That's not obviously how it works. So, like, if people are acting this way, they're obviously not going to be producing like anywhere near the TFR which you need to reverse anything. Another example, I actually wrote a lot of examples to like kind of cover the base. So a panditji of a small village temple, who's barely making any money from the chanda, and who's, let's say, moonlighting as some job like a carpenter or a plumber or some small time job, or a lumberjack or something like that. And many people have to do like that, even though if they are upper caste. You'll see this in many cities. Thakurs, Pandits, many traditional upper castes who have a little bit of land also, who have some traditional occupations. They're just not able to make enough money to send their kids to do better than them. And this is their dream. Like, I couldn't get better schooling. At least my kid should get a chance. But obviously, government doesn't support them. The quotas are killing whatever little seats they could get in good colleges. So then parents have to do shit like shit like this. So is that panditji going to have time to teach people, know that you're not following the real Vedic dharma? Or will he be more worried about whether his son gets into at least some college or not, right? Like, these are real life examples. Now, and I'm not like talking about, all these are all very different examples from different castes, different ethnic, different demographic groups. uh and a lot of you will, relate to these kind of things, right? Like, I've seen this myself. Like, like, you talk to someone on the street for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You're a very convincing person. You give them all these arguments. Okay, SC/ST Act, they're doing this to you, and they're taking your seats, and the demographic dangers, blah 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 blah. He's gonna like, ठीक है भाई, मेरे को बहुत मुश्किल से सिफारिश से नौकरी लगी है, 8,000 रुपए की, ठीक है, साइड हट, मैं लेट हो रहा हूँ, right? That's what he'll say, because he has to send money back to his village or his small town or wherever. And that's how most people of our people live. If you're not living in a bubble, you know that. Now, my problem is that we're actually wasting people's time by telling them basically dumbed down, watered down, half-assed 90% of the time, same shit which has already been done a billion times on 4chan and like on Western YouTube. Or we're doing something even worse, very retarded caste ganging, which is just pathetic and sad. And think about this. Like, take the most powerful, knowledgeable, most ancient, sacred caste, creed, class of people, ethnic group in the world. 10, 15 Silicon Valley billionaires get together, they'll wipe you out, right? They'll conquer your country and civilization if they really wanted to. And they're already like in a way doing it. So capital controls the world. And you know and then someone might say, okay, no, you earlier said that ideology controls everything. That is also true. Ideology can overcome everything, right? but we're not there. We Hinduism does not have a system of organizing a super polity which administers its population in such a cohesive manner that you can proactively move to incorporate foreign tribes in a long term stable manner and expand and make sure that there's no societal degeneration. We were not able to we accomplished a lot of other things, but the political element is missing, right? With the other religions, they were not optimizing for philosophy, let's say. They were not optimizing for science, they were not optimizing for ethics, they were optimizing for conquest and politics. Which religion I'm talking about, most of you would know, right? And thing is, now many people will say that, okay, so you just mean that we just become dhandhos and we stop fighting and like doing all that. I'm not like saying that at all, right? Different religions also have different periods of time. Like for example, Christianity, initially, whenever a country or a small, like, look at the Roman Empire, right? Within like what, a couple of emperors of them becoming Christian, they literally got overrun by every single pagan tribe which came and just threw open the gates. Now that's a different matter, that those pagans also adopted Christianity over time, right? But Christianity was very weak and very bad at building strong polities initially. It took them like 400, 500 years of getting mass murdered and mass raped and whatever to be able to goddamn realize like this is how you run a state. And for whatever reason, we were not able to completely learn that lesson, but we are in a better place right now. But we don't, this is not something, a political ideology which is missing your head, right? You don't bring that in like 5 years of bhaji pao chamchas tweeting at each other. That's not how it's made, right? It takes 50 years, 100, 200 years of philosophers, calling each other crazy and trying to screw each other's wives. Talk about Germans, for example. That's a joke, but like, this is how it works, right? Like communism itself has, predecessors, preceding ideologies, preceding schools of philosophy, preceding schools of psychology, going back so many hundreds of years. And it's not just, like Karl Marx woke up one day and he's like, oh, I'm going to invent communism, and then he dropped dead, and like 10 years later Lenin, like, oh, are communism kya sahi cheez hai? And then they had the Russian Revolution. It doesn't work like that, right? You need time to debate, discuss, cuss each other, destroy the other person's argument. There are literally going to be thousands of books written. We're getting started, we're in a good place right now, but the problem is we don't have time. Right now, how do you create time? You create time with capital. Capital can stave off the enemy, right? With capital, you can fix a lot of problems which otherwise would overflow and would overwhelm you, because you don't have an ideology which can act as your political head, right? So this is why end summary is, what personally I'm going to do is I'm going to shutter down most of the political stuff for at least the next 6, 7, 8 months. I am going to reduce, like compared to earlier, how much time I used to spend on this channel and the entire FI network and everything, at least by 60, 70%. Most of my time is going to go to, I want to try out small business ideas, ventures which I've thought of. Some of them online, some of them semi online. Let's see how that goes. And otherwise also on this channel, I'll try and talk more about self improvement, or in general talk about people, like what are the problems they have, or get some decent intelligent professionals who can help my audience build a better life, right? All this political faggotry is not going to take you anywhere, right? If you're some poor fuck at 35 years old, you're not going to do anything for dharma, okay? But trust me on that, right? I'm really sorry for the language I'm using, but honestly, guys, look at your family, look at yourself, right? Don't buy delusions people are selling to you, right? Believe in your gods, but at the end of the day, you're gonna have to pull up your socks. Don't be someone's pawn, right? So yeah, with that I'll end, and the way I reorganize things, you'll figure out in the coming days how things are going to change. So shalom walaikum, bye bye guys.